Wyverns Weirdos Curse of Strahd is a horror-themed campaign, and as such contains dark themes, including descriptions of gore, violence, and other features intrinsic to the gothic horror genre. Hello, and welcome to Wyverns Weirdos does Curse of Strahd. I'm your Dungeon Master Darby, and joining me as always are Zoe, playing Cevia, Emily, playing Beatrice, Laura, playing Conrade, Mitch, playing Designation 42, Exley, and Johanna, playing Fall. Let's jump into it. So, where we last left off, Cevia was transcribing spells into her spellbook. Fall was creating some trinkets out of fabric that they found in Mordenkainen's mansion. And Beatrice, Conrade, and Exley had dinner with Strahd to mixed results, shall we say? And now find themselves departing from Castle Ravenloft. So, Beatrice, Conrade... Oh, and Conrade is charmed by Strahd, again.
Just an afterthought.
Yeah. And Strahd offered them a potential way for them to earn his favor, and said that he would allow them to leave Barovia should he bring Tatiana to him. So, what does Team Ravenloft wish to do?
We wish to get the fuck out of Dodge.
Okay.
We exit Ravenloft.
Yeah.
We exit stage left.
Yeah. Okay.
Chased by a bear.
As we're leaving, and we're sort of like, or outside essentially.
Yeah.
Can Exley just sort of look down? Is there like a side of a cliff that he can look down?
Yeah, there's like the edge of the moat.
Okay. Can you have a bit of a peek down there?
Yeah. What is he looking for?
Well, we've been told that the staff of Mordenkainen is sort of underneath Castle Ravenloft, essentially. Like there was a big battle on top and it had sort of fallen off potentially.
Roll me a perception check.
Mm-hmm.
Since it's just you looking from here.
Yeah. That's a 17.
17. There's a couple of glints of something in the edge of the rock. It's hard to tell from here what they are, though.
Okay. Beatrice, before we leave, we have been told that there may potentially be the staff of Mordenkainen underneath this castle.
I remember, yes.
Do you believe it would be safe for the three of you to stay up here while I go down to try and retrieve that staff?
I believe maybe if we move further across, that maybe there will be all right to wait for you.
That may be wise.
All right. Conrade, let's go this way. And Beatrice will sort of walk along the...
Was Exley talking
I'm
to
assuming
Beatrice
there's like a bridge across the moat?
Yeah.
Or whatever, yeah. Beatrice will walk to the other side of the bridge.
Was that spoken in private, or was that just them talking while they're there?
It was not in private, no.
Cool. So
It was
Conrade just,
directed
like-
at Beatrice, though.
Yeah, it was. Conrade just nods. He's like, "Yes, all right, sure, I'll follow you, Beatrice." And then he will just stride on after her,
Prime,
just looking at the ground.
follow and protect those two, please. Exley will watch for a moment to see the direction that they're going to. How far of a drop is it?
It is quite a ways. It's hard to judge from here. But yeah, quite a ways down.
Cool. He'll stand on the edge and just sort of fall off. And as he's falling, he will turn into a vulture.
Okay. Alright. So you're now going to search for the staff, I take it?
I'm going to attempt to, yeah.
Yes.
I'm going to give a cursory glance around at the bottom. Not landing at the moment.
Alright, so roll me an investigation check using the vulture's statistics. Yeah, I believe.
Investigation or perception?
It is investigation for actively searching as you are. Now, let me see how...
Sure thing.
Let me just double check how it works for druids with their wild shape. So when you transfer your beasts are replaced by... You retain your intelligence, wisdom, and charisma.
Oh, that's so much better.
And any skill and saving throw proficiencies. In addition to gaining those of the creature.
What does that mean?
So... Is there... There should be a stat block for a vulture, yes. So...
I'm assuming keen sight probably won't.
I would say it technically probably should
Okay.
count. So I'll allow it to give you advantage.
Perfect.
Yes.
That was a 17 and a 19.
Okay.
And I'm using Exley's stats on this?
Yeah.
Because it's wisdom? Okay.
Because it's intelligence.
Because it's...
It's investigation, not perception.
Oh, yeah. Sorry. Perfect. Yeah, so 19.
19. Okay. So, yeah, you spot a couple of things in your searching. Most of it not particularly valuable, but you do find this long, ornate black star nestled into like a bump in the cliff face here, with yeah, sort of golden details and runes down the edge, like down the side of it.
Do I recognize the staff?
Actually, yeah, you would. You would, because, yeah, you've known Mordenkainen for a while.
Okay. In that case, I will... There doesn't appear to be any sort of issues in the area.
Not that you can perceive, no.
That's enough.
Yeah.
I will fly down, try and scoop it up in my talons. And if I can grab it, I'm going to fly along maybe about 20 feet above the ground, away from the castle, hugging the cliff face for a little bit until I come up.
All right. So, Conrade and Beatrice, the two of you see this vulture appear up with... did you grab the staff in your beak or your talons?
Talons.
Talons, that's right. So, with, yeah, a long black staff grasped in its talons.
Ew. Look at that.
How about that? That is 42, I presume. Or otherwise an enemy.
I
You
would
do know.
assume
What are both your passive perceptions?
mine is a 16.
16, and Conrade's is even better. So
18.
you both notice, oddly, that this vulture does not have a shadow.
Perhaps it is an enemy. No shadow.
Exley's shadow got taken from him.
Oh.
That is Exley.
Well, I suppose you would know. It was at your instruction. He asked for your instruction, so. Good. Well, staff obtained.
Well, you've been charmed by Strahd again. What do you expect?
I haven't. I'm just in higher spirits at the moment. Or I was. But we're back here now, so. I'm fine. I suppose
Beatrice,
we'll reconvene.
Beatrice just reaches up and pats Conrade on the shoulder.
He kind of like shrugs it off, and like just shoves his hands in his pockets again, like a little teenager. Then just kind of like strides ahead a bit.
All right. Yeah. So, can I get someone as so? Where are you making your way back to?
Well,
Well, it's up to Beatrice. She's the leader.
I would assume once we've got the staff, we'll be making our way towards. Because we hadn't planned on anywhere to specifically meet up after the other two had gone to Mordenkainen, had we? I don't think
so.
I don't believe
that they were going to. Yeah. I think if we start heading towards there.
Okay.
Mm.
So, could I get someone to please roll me a d20?
I'll do it. Oh, you go.
Oh, no, you do it. Mr. Birdman.
8. I am still a vulture, by the way.
8.
Exley will stay a vulture.
Okay. So, a bit of time passes. You trek through. So you're on your way to the mansion, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. So can I get another roll from someone else of a d20?
Sure thing. That's a 7.
7. Okay. Okay. So it's still trekking along with nothing nothing disturbing your trip. It's getting quite dark though. Conrade, can I get you to roll me a d20 now?
Sure. 14.
14. Okay. Still nothing of note along your travels. So I would imagine, Exley, you'd probably be able to help with kind of making a shortcut towards the mansion rather than going the long way around.
I would attempt to, yeah.
All right. And I will roll a 4th check. So, yeah, so you are able to get to the mansion without any difficulty.
While I'm flying, because I think I can stay wild checked, I can't remember how long for. 4 hours.
Yeah.
During that time, he'll use the full 4 hours. While he's got a little bit of time to think, is there anything he can come up with on how to potentially break some sort of a charming effect?
Roll me an Arcana check.
7.
7. No idea.
Cool.
How many hours has it been? Since we all parted ways.
Probably around 12 at this point.
So Cevia's definitely done all her spells.
Yeah. So given the amount of time to travel through and get to the mansion, yeah, you've even with that, you've definitely finished.
Well, probably while they're on their way back to the mansion, Cevia is going to very excitedly run up to Fall and be like, okay, I'm going to try the spell and I'm going to see if it works. All right? So, there's not much you can do to help if anything goes wrong, but I'm going to try and contact the others.
Yes, yes. Pass on anything they say if they respond then.
Yes. Now it's very, very specific. I have to use 25 words or less, and that's difficult for me. So maybe if you could count for me and make sure that I am using the correct amount of words, not syllables, but individual words. So I will try to speak slowly for you.
Okay.
Just because I also get confused with syllables and words. So
Paul gets into stance, ready to start counting with their fingers.
Okay. Cevia is going to cast Sending, and she's going to cast it aiming for Conrade.
Okay. Now, roll me a percentile dice.
Oh, what? We're on the same plane.
No, you are not.
Yes, we are. Me and Conrade.
The mansion is a demi-plane.
Oh, no.
There is, in fact, a 5% chance of failure.
29.
29, yeah, it's fine.
Good.
Okay. I was enraged for a second there. All right. So, yes, Cevia is going to contact Conrade, speaking clearly, so that way Fall can keep count for her. Conrade, how is everything going? Did the dinner end in death? You can reply to this message 25 words or less. This is Cevia. Thank you.
I think Paul was a bit generous with some of those, so it would have cut off.
Paul did about as well as I did.
And
with that.
I think 25 should have been 2 words.
25.
Yeah. So you wouldn't
It's
have gotten the thank you.
Okay.
But other than that,
And then it gets cut off.
She just spoke the numbers 25.
That's what I was thinking. I saw numbers in my mind.
And then I'm going to add an emoji. Those are free.
Yeah, emojis are free.
Yes.
As established in the main campaign.
And that is what she sends to Conrade. And then she
probably
waits.
we're doing our Legionnaire walk of just non-stop walking. We do so much walking in Strahd. That's not good for your legs. So everyone's fairly fit, but oh my god. So he probably he's been very quiet for much of the walk comparatively, and he kind of just stops and stands just stark upright. And his eyes go they're already a bit wide anyway, but they go a lot wider as he receives the sending message. Just for Exley and Beatrice's reference. And then, okay, well, I'll just talk and then it will cut off whenever, because I think normally Conrad would be very anal about trying to figure out the exact words. But yes, so he will say, hello. Dinner went well. We're walking back to you now. No death yet. Might have ideas. to get out of here. Everything is fine.
Okay, so I think that cut as everything is.
Everything is everything.
So he just like stands there like for like a lot longer. But then he just kind of like shakes his head and then we'll continue to walk on.
Beatrice would probably notice that Conrade had stopped walking and you all right?
Yes, I heard word from Cevia in my head.
Okay, what did she say?
Just wanted to know what we were doing and if everything was all right, which it is, so I communicated it effectively, of course.
Did.
But yes, it's not really much else to share. Things must be going well there, so
Good.
it'll be fine. We'll carry on. I won't delay us much longer. We have good news after all. We might find a way of getting out of here. And he kind of like shoves his hands in his pockets again and just continues to walk.
So
Right.
they responded.
Yes. So he can respond to, well, anyone I send it to can respond to me, and he can tell me what happened. So dinner apparently went well, and no one died, which is ideal. And they're walking their way back here now, which is a lot of walking. They must be awfully tired. I hope Mordenkainen has like sofas. I think he has sofas. I've spent all day in the library. I can't remember if he has sofas.
Oh yes, I've had a whole look around the place. There's a lot of sofas, much more than is necessary. Goodness, well that's wonderful news. That's better than expected. Everything went well. I wonder what the purpose of it was from Strahd then.
Yes, I don't know. I can't help but feel like he's a sort of, forgive the macabre language, but toying with his food.
Yes, it seems like that. It's It's very worrying, especially since the last fight went okay against him. It's rather worrying that he has such a lackadaisical attitude against us.
Yes, especially from what I read in Van Richten's notes, saying that, Strahd only takes on battles he thinks he can win. And of course, we bested him, and he ran away like a child. But I don't know, it seems he was willing to take all of us into his home. Clearly, he assumes that being within his home is the safest place for him, and that he has the upper hand. But clearly, if anything did go wrong, our friends got the upper hand. So,
yes, that's good to hear.
I'm sure we'll hear all about it when they get back.
Yes, I hope so. I hope there's some good news there. Although, yes, we won't exactly have much to report ourselves. I hope Mordenkainen will be supportive.
He's a wizard. It could go either way. But yes, I wonder what... To be honest with you, I was never sure that Strahd would let them go.
It doesn't make any sense to me, yes.
So I must wonder what information they have that he would let them leave with. Or maybe he... vampires, and she touches her neck on the side where she got bitten one time. They can do that charming thing where they convince you to do things for them. So maybe we should be on alert. Maybe when they come back, all of them will be charmed, and they'll actually all be working for Strahd, and then they'll try and kill us.
That's a good point. Yes. Oh, I think.
Are you sure it's not paranoid? I feel like I'm sounding a little paranoid.
I'm no one to judge with that one, really. I can assure you.
I have noticed that Esmeralda has quite avoided us for the entire 12 hours we have been here.
Yes, that's probably my fault. Bit of an awkward duo to travel together.
Yes, well, I'm not very good at people. That's the thing, if our friends aren't charmed, I don't want to go out there being like, oh, you certainly are charmed, because then what if they don't like me anymore? But then if they are charmed and they try to kill us, well, then they certainly don't like me at all. It's quite a predicament.
Oh, dear. Or they could have some kind of, like, sleeper, like, button. Like, if they hear a phrase or something, then they're just going to, like, go wild and attack us all.
Yes, I've read stories about those soldiers brainwashed into doing things like that.
Oh, yes, I'm sure they were probably doing stuff like that back in Palas all the time. They always had spies and stuff, so goodness knows what they can do. Oh, yes.
I've never met a spy.
Strahd
Are
has
they
no
real?
such capabilities.
Ah!
You see Mordenkainen walking into the room.
Paul hides the stolen fabric once again behind their back. Good. Are you sure?
Yes. Though, I will say that it is judicious of you, Cevia, to suspect that they may have been charmed.
Well, yes, but I will admit, upon a few seconds of reflection, I'm not sure how long Strahd's charming magic lasts for. So who's to say? It's been hours. Who's to say if they would? I really should have thought that one through. I did not. That's on me.
No, that's fair. I think he definitely could have tampered with him in some way.
But if they are charmed, I'm sure there are ways we could get rid of it.
Of course. One were to de-tamper a person, shall we say, of magical ailments, what must one do?
Zoe is unsure of the answer.
I have a possible answer. If I charmed them and then uncharmed them, would that remove the initial charming, like stacking?
It's not an entirely foolish idea, but that is not how it works.
Oh.
They would still be charmed by you when you charm them. Not necessarily an exclusive thing.
So you can be dual charmed. Oh, that's weird.
I would say so. All it means is that they are charmed by multiple casters. So they consider multiple people to be trusted friends.
Okay.
Well, that, of course,
Paul
depends on the
dejected at
charm.
getting it wrong.
But you could dispel the magic. You could remove it with certain kinds of spells.
Yes. Now you're thinking like a mage.
I should think so. Cevia is suddenly under a lot of pressure.
Occam's razor, my girl.
The simplest solution is often the best one, yes?
Yes.
Well, what's the simplest solution?
You've said it yourself.
Dispel the magic?
Of course.
Oh, well, you just let me keep talking, and you made me convince myself I was wrong. Sorry, that was out of line. I'm sorry.
There were other equally simple solutions, but...
Well, I thought you were going to...
seemed-
Because I am aware that if people are under certain kinds of magical effects, you can also, if they are injured, that can allow them to break it, because that's part of what happened to me. So I thought you were trying to convince me to punch Conrade or someone, or Exley or Beatrice, and I'm not
Cevia.
very good at punching.
Cevia, that would not
Yes.
have worked. The breaking of a charm by harm usually occurs when an ally of the caster is the one hurting the charmed person.
Oh,
There are other equally simple solutions, such as a remove curse enchantment. But
Right.
you seemed, as you continued on, to be going into further wilder explanations and possibilities. That is why I
Yes.
stopped you.
apologies.
Right. So, do you think that Strahd will have charmed them, or otherwise? Or why do you think that he let them into his castle and then let them out?
Because he wants something, possibly. What did the response say? You learned
That did-
sending. I suspect you messaged one of them.
Yes, I messaged Conrade. He's the leader. Dinner did not end in death. They have some information. He couldn't say what, and that they are on their way back now.
All right. So, you have no idea what this information is, or what it pertains to.
My short-term memory is very bad, and I'm trying to remember if Conrad said the information was relevant to us getting out,
Oh,
or if he just said he had information.
I think it was just information. Oh, yeah.
Everyone who is now watching this recorded is going to be like, "Oh, you idiot!"
I know exactly.
Yeah.
It's probably at this point that the three arrive at the mansion and
Well, you can ask him
and-
yourself.
are shown inside by Esmeralda, who's been keeping watch outside.
Okay.
Hello.
Oh,
We have
Beatrice.
returned.
Yes, we're back.
Conrade
Hello.
asked you.
Was
Are
the
you
wolf
Miss us.
Oh,
Uh,
noises. Many, many loud noises. Ha.
Did you miss us?
of course.
Yes. To be fair, I was rather busy, but certainly I missed seeing your faces. Is everyone all right?
More or less.
Yes, we're all right.
has it been
Beatrice then
more than
looks
4 hours?
pointedly at Exley.
So it's been
Emily.
about 2 hours
Yeah,
since
do
you
you want to
left.
cover like Conrad
Okay.
de-charming? Like, has he de-charmed?
No,
Oh,
It's much
damn.
longer
Still
than that.
It's like a
Oh,
full
it's a
day,
special
isn't it?
vampire thing, I'm guessing.
it's 24 hours.
Oh
hours.
gosh. Okay, I was just looking at my spell. Oof. All right.
Exley is going to waddle into the door still as a vulture.
Okay.
Yeah.
Now with the staff in its
Okay.
beak.
Beatrice turns and looks like pointedly at Exley Bird.
Conrad probably catches her doing that and just kind of like frowns, is like, and then turns back like, yes, well, we're here. Mordenkainen, was it? Do you have any food
Yes.
or something?
Of course. And he snaps his finger, and several unseen they're barely visible, but they function much like unseen servants. Start preparing food.
Oh, good, excellent. Good. I'm going to rest for a bit. I'm sure we can hear everything from Beatrice and Exley.
I take it the vulture is Exley.
Yes, it is.
And Conrad will slouch off.
I would like to insight check Conrad.
And
Yeah.
How bad?
My
Great.
glasses are dirty again. Oh, that is a solid 11.
Hard,
I got an 8.
yeah. hard to tell any significant difference.
He looks surly as usual
Yeah.
for some reason.
Yeah.
He does also. He has also walked two full hours.
Yeah.
to there.
Yeah.
And he's got like his jacket bundled under his arm as he just like slouches off. Yep.
That's fair.
And is that what I believe it is in Exley's beak?
That's what I think it is.
Exley waddles over and drops the staff.
Thank you. And he picks it up. It's like, I feel complete again. The mage should not be without their focus.
Cevia looks very awkward when he says that. Yes. Good, so you're back at full power now.
Yes.
Good. Good. So that would mean that we fulfilled our part of the agreement for you to help us fight Strahd when the time comes.
Indeed you have.
Fantastic. Good.
King of.
Oh,
Some things may have happened while we were
Someone was
there.
charmed, weren't they?
Yes, he tried to charm me and Exley. Exley lost his shit, but he already charmed Conrade. Conrade.
Oh, I knew it. Not again.
what? She's gonna like huddle in next to Fall and be like, someone should go talk to him. Maybe not those two. I'm not sure they've. I think they might already have talked to him. And it doesn't seem like it went well.
Okay. Yes, I'll do that.
Beatrice is then also going to pipe up while they're whispering in the corner. And Exley lost his shadow.
I hadn't noticed that.
What?
Cevia looks down.
Well, so basically, Strahd tried to charm me. He failed at charming me. He tried to charm Conrade. He charmed Conrade. And then he tried to charm Exley. It failed, and Exley flipped out and cast spell at him, and we nearly had to fight Strahd. I managed to diffuse situation with a little bit of help from Conrade. But not before he had taken Exley's shadow and turned it into a shadow fighter thing. Yeah.
Exley. She looks down at this little bird, which is a vulture, so
Big
it's like
bird.
2 foot
Big
tall.
bird.
She's Exley. That was not what we agreed upon.
Exley will slowly turn back into Exley. Go back up to his full height. I did not approve of his methods of hosting.
Well, no, and I can understand the desire to, especially if he had charmed Conrade to help, like, protect each other. But to start a fight when not everyone's there, you all could have died.
One could argue that he started it.
One could argue that you're a fool. Designation 42.
Yes, well, what exactly is the consequences of this shadowlessness? Sorry.
That is not my area of expertise. I suspect there might be someone who knows, but I do not know who it would be. I might be able to suggest something there. I don't think there's any direct consequences other than not having a shadow, and that's going to give a lot of people the creeps. But all I'd say would be Van Richten might have a bit of a better idea. if there was anything more to know.
Right.
Fair enough. Does anybody know how to get rid of the charm on Conrad?
We were just discussing that, actually. We were under the impression that maybe all of you would be charmed, and that maybe it would be quite a perilous situation. I do have something that could assist with that, but is Conrad aware that he's been charmed?
Beatrice just sort of awkwardly shifts from side to side. That is good question. I have mentioned. Did not necessarily believe me.
Oh.
Maybe.
So you've been walking for hours. Did no one try and talk to him that whole time?
He did surly teenager thing and would not just it was a long walk. We're all tired.
But surly teenagers deserve. They're just doing that because they want attention. I would know. I was one of them. Well, maybe.
I knew there wasn't going to be any chance to get rid of the charm until we got here, and it only seemed to upset him to mention it, so I decided not to continue mentioning it.
But you didn't talk about anything else?
Like I said, it's been a very long day, and a very long journey. We've done a lot of walking today, and a lot of talking. I don't like talking.
Well,
I was more concerned about getting him here. As much as many of you seem to, despite what many of you seem to believe, I don't actually take joy in making Conrad upset.
Oh.
Maybe slightly irritated from time to time, but not upset. And not too much. Just as a joke.
Right. Well,
you two, the two of you, and she gestures at Full and Cevia, you're much better at, emotional stuff.
Cevia looks at Fall like, am I?
Fall also makes a face like, oh, really?
Like, uh-oh. But then Cevia will turn back around with her hands on hips and be like, yes, I believe we are. In this particular set of circumstances. Well, then maybe both of us should talk to Conrad.
Oh, I guess so. Yes.
Yes.
I'd suggest being gentle. Don't push point too much.
No, of course not.
Of course.
We're the emotion people, aren't we?
Yes, that's right.
Yes. Well.
Beatrice sighs and walks off in the other direction to find somewhere to sit and wait.
Yes. Right. Well.
Okay, right.
Fall goes to Cevia and is like leans in closer and is like,
Okay, so with the charming thing, is he gonna try to kill us? Is that an issue? No?
No, I don't think so. When I was charmed by a vampire, I'm assuming Esmeralda, Exley, and Van Richten are still just there, and we're just whispering in a corner.
You mean Mordenkainen?
Oh, I said the wrong one.
Yeah.
I said the wrong old white man.
Yeah.
Okay. Mordenkainen, I meant. And we're just whispering in a little corner, but we're probably quote unquote whispering.
yeah.
From what I remember, when I was charmed by a vampire, all it did was make me think they were friendly. So it didn't make me feel compelled to do anything. So maybe with Conrade, we just need to talk to him and remind him that we're friendly too.
Yes.
And then
yes.
we can talk to him about how he should let me dispel the magic on him, and that will fix it. Yes.
Yes.
Maybe you might have to lead the conversation. He might listen to you more.
Okay, I'll give it a go. I guess it's like times when I've been like extra scared about something, even though it's not scary, and people just being like, like, what are you doing? That's not true. That sucks. So we'll just be like,
Yeah.
gentle about it. Okay.
Yes. Gentle, kind, and like Beatrice said, we're not going to push the point. So that's probably why you should lead it. I might mess up. Okay. All right.
You have both got this.
Ah.
Thank you, and
Thank you.
I hope something can be done about that shadow thing too. That sounds very weird.
Yes.
I'm sure it will be fine.
Good. And Cevia's gonna go up to Exley and attempt like a playful punch in the shoulder and be like, "Don't start any fights while we're gone." Ha 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 ha.
Ha 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 ha.
Mitch says with a completely blank face. All right, I guess we try to find Conrade. Where is he gone?
Yep. He would have just like I guess he would have just like kind of like slouched off of them for like more purpose, like would have strided.
I believe it is Strahd.
Well, whichever word is the worst.
Correct term is Strahd.
Strahd. God, he's gone over to the room he stayed in last time he was there. But he hasn't like closed the door. He's just like probably like flopped back on the bed, and he's writing. He's kind of like so he's wearing a shirt, don't worry, and pants, it's fine. But he's thrown all of like his vest and his jacket off and stuff like that on the floor, and his boots, and he's like the moody teenager he is. He's making very like careful notes in his diary on like a certain page. But yeah, like so lying back on there, glaring at this little book in his hand. Yep, is the visual you can imagine.
Nice. Okay, so I'll like knock on the door. Like, oh hey, Conrade, you been there?
He will snap the book shut, and then but he won't like get up and like, yes.
Can we come in? It's Cevia and Fall.
That is permitted, yes.
Excellent. Kind of like cautiously into the room. Like, hi, we didn't get the chance to check up on you. We were worried about the people who left on the mission. How are you doing?
And he kind of like I guess stares up at the ceiling for a moment and then kind of like scoots up to just sit on the bed, cross-legged, and then kind of like dither for a moment, I guess, and be like, it was fun. I'm sure Beatrice got you up to scratch with it all. And Exley retrieved the staff, so that's sufficient. So we, I guess, achieved the goal that we were looking to complete. But otherwise, it was all right. Had a nice dinner, so that was good. And some conversation. So that was good too.
That's good to hear. I'm glad that it all went well and that everyone's safe.
Yes. Well, they touch and go there to begin with, but we we managed to de-escalate the situation, so no one had to fight anyone. So isn't that good? Difficult to do in these lands, but that's well, 'tis good. Did they mention the offer that Strahd gave us?
No, they didn't.
Oh, well, that's odd. I would have thought Beatrice would have told you.
I guess we were more concerned about making sure everyone's okay at first.
Ah, yes. Of course. Well, should be fine. Long walk, that's all. So...
Yes, yes, I suppose so, but it's a dangerous place out in Barovia, you know, like that, seeing this, like, skeleton riding a horse all the time and everything, like...
Oh, yes, we see that quite often. It's quite strange. Didn't see it this time, just a lot of aimless wandering, but, yes.
That's good,
Well.
Yes, but I think the other two said that at a point during the journey that they felt magic trying to take hold, so we were worried that maybe a spell had crept in somewhere.
Ah, spells. Well, yes, they were. Well, Beatrice was nattering on that previously. And then just the same as the temple, immediately Beatrice became the leader. So clearly they suspect me, which is really quite unfair. It's happened so often now. I thought we were past this, but, you know, I suppose at least Strahd was listening to me, so that was good. I'm quite surprised she didn't mention the offer he gave us. It was quite surprising for me personally as well. And he kind of has like the gleam to his eyes again at this point, as he's more animated. And he's like, for example, he said that he actually can control who can leave this place. We've only heard that Esmeralda claiming that he's the one who takes us in, but he has found a way of letting people out again. Just not the place as a whole. And he said he could help us return back to the prime material plane he was speaking of. Or our version of the prime material plane. Apparently there are many planes. Isn't that interesting?
It's quite fascinating, really.
Yes. Such strong magics. So he said all that would be required would be if we were to bring Tatiana to him. I believe he means Irina. Apparently he can't get to her because of the church thing. But if we brought Irina to him, he would let us back home.
Oh,
Goodness, and
I'm surprised Beatrice didn't mention it. Or Exley. Exley tried to attack Strahd, actually. It was not the best timing, I must say, but thankfully we de-escalated the situation. I don't quite know why. So he was saying something about friends, but that's an odd statement from him, so... 42, yes. I mean.
Yes, that doesn't seem like the best move to make, attacking Strahd and everything.
Yes. No, well, of course not. I mean, we're all friends here. Well, some of us are.
Yes, that's right. I like to think so. Fall is looking like quite uncertain about how to like approach this conversation.
Fair.
Cevia will kind of look at Fall and just be like, so you mentioned that you and Strahd had quite a lovely conversation.
Yes. He asked me about home.
Oh, really?
Well, after he told me how to behave and how to stay in my place, but you know, what's that between friends?
Oh. Yes, certainly. Was there anything else you two discussed, apart from, of course, his offer of how to help us get home? Or was it just about what life was like for you back home, I assume?
Well, yes, we spoke of that a bit. Yeah, I think I've referred him as a son. I mean, that was obvious from his diary, of course, but certainly has the same drive. And he's very attractive, of course. Not that my parents would care, but you know. But yes, it was
Yes, I think the people that your family would prefer, we started to touch on, are not the best. Your family doesn't seem to have the best preferences.
They just want people who have drive.
I wouldn't say Strahd has drive in the right directions.
Well, everyone has their faults. And me, clearly many, so.
I think you have less faults than you believe, Conrade. But, you know, do you feel like, not with Strahd, clearly, as Strahd is your friend, who would never do something to harm you.
No, I mean, apart from that time he nearly murdered me in the past, but that's water under a bridge. That's what people do.
Of course. Do you feel like there was potentially some sort of magic cast upon you three as you returned here?
Here? I don't think so. This place here is magical, yes. This isn't a real bed, after all.
That is, it depends on how many times Mordenkainen has cast this spell. After a year, it becomes permanent and real.
Oh. Interesting. Well, no, I don't have much to learn about magic.
Yes.
It's in my future and my past.
There's, but we were just concerned, as we do view you as the leader. Yes, that if there was magic performed upon you, it can be difficult to tell, you know, on the journey back. So we've already done this with Exley and Beatrice, but if you want, I can do a spell to get rid of any potential harmful magics done to you on the journey.
You've done this already with Beatrice and Exley?
Yes.
Roll me a deception
How do they
check.
take it? Oh.
Deception.
Insight then?
Yes.
Evil is plain.
Oh, it's a 0. So it's a 13 for Conrade.
Oh.
And Cevia's
14.
Oh.
Cool. So Conrade seems to like contemplate for a moment. He's like, strange. I mean, it hasn't really happened before in the temple, only to me. Even when you found a sword that could talk that Beatrice covets desperately.
Yes, I will admit we maybe, we're a little hypocritical in that regard. And I do apologize for that.
Yes. Oh, so if I can be blunt, I am rather afraid of Beatrice and rather a bit more fond of you than I am of Beatrice.
It just looks like it goes from like looking just like slightly vague, just like just completely perplexed. And then he kind of just like oh well yeah, he does that. He blushes a bit and then looks like his hands he crossed his hands in his lap. Like well. It's difficult to say whether it's good to be feared or liked. Feared is easy to achieve. Sometimes.
But I know I certainly strive to be liked. It's certainly harder, but
it is.
But, certain people think it's worth trying.
All right. He kind of like puts his diary next to him, and then just like seeing crossly still puts his hands on his knees, and then kind of like inclines his head slightly, like, all right, I'll get it over with then.
All right.
Okay.
Thank you. And then Cevia's gonna.
So
Dispel
roll me
magic.
an intelligence check.
Okay.
Oh, that'd be hard for Cevia. She's not very intelligent.
That's a natural 19 on the dice.
Okay.
With my intelligence makes that a 24.
Okay. Conrade, you feel this charm effect dissipate from inside your head, and you are aware that Strahd had you charmed.
Cool. Fun. So kind of like inclines the promo as like Cevia casts that magic, he kind of like raises his head a bit, his like eyes kind of like focus back properly. And the gleam kind of like fades from them, and then he kind of like shakes his head a bit, and then looks at Fall and looks at Cevia, and then just like just kind of slumps, I guess. And then yeah, be like, oh.
How are you feeling?
It happened again. It was they were right.
They still could have been kinder about it, but
Yes, I'm so sorry. It must be very difficult.
This is... I am found wanting. I need to do something about it. This can't keep happening. But if we leave soon, I'm sure we can... It won't be a problem anyway, so... And he kind of like doesn't like stop put his head in his hands like a huge like upset gesture, but kind of just like fingers to the temples kind of thing, and just looks down at the bed, I guess, and like, this is so embarrassing.
would you like to be left alone, or do you want someone here to be with you?
What do you want?
Well, we're not the ones who got charmed, so
No.
we're asking what you want.
I have a great deal of many things I want that cannot be achieved yet. The presence of others, one way or another.
If you want advice on how to resist charming, I can help. Although I think Strahd is quite the difficult one to avoid. And also, if you just want to talk about what happened, I might be able to help too.
Maybe that. No, it's a good suggestion. It's probably something I should do. I just hate that they're right. But if that's something that you can suggest in, I will endeavour to learn.
Yes, I'm no mage and I'm not exactly very skilled at it, but I've had some training in resisting magic. I might be able to pass on some knowledge.
Good. That would be appreciated and effective as a whole for the group. Perhaps. Well, I suppose at least no one died, so that's a bonus. At the basis point, that would be considered the mission a success, and Exley found the staff, and as he sought approval from Beatrice, so good. overall success. Was Warden kind of delighted at the staff? I believe that's who we were meant to give it to. Exley's old master.
I believe he was as delighted as wizards of that age allow themselves to be.
So, a slight crinkle of the mouth then at that.
He made a grand statement. Wizards are very fond of grand statements. I'm trying to get better at mine, but I'm not very good at them yet.
Yes. Well, grand statements are a great way to say a great deal of nothing much without actually thanking anyone, really. So that sounds about right.
It can be quite impressive sometimes.
He kind of like sniffs, like scrubs like his nose, and then just like sighs. Yes. Good. How was the training here? Effective? Have you learned much?
Oh, yes. I've learned so much. My wrists are about to fall off. They're just so... Well, technically I only learned 3 spells, but they're very good ones. They're the one that allowed me to talk to you, and there's another one that can allow me to help protect people from charming things, and being frightened and things like that. And I've also learned one. I haven't prepared it yet. I'm not sure how useful it will be, but I can suggest things to people now and make them want to do those things.
Oh, like Strahd?
No, because well, akin to it, but mine is more based on action. So I can compel someone to perform an action, and once they perform that action, they no longer care what I say or do.
Oh, I see. Well, that will be useful, I suppose. And is like Cevia and Fawkes wearing the friendship bracelets at this point? I can't remember if they finished them or not.
I say they would. Fall at least would have finished his. Would Cevia have had time to make one?
If it's been 12 hours.
Oh yeah, it's been ages. Yeah.
So Conrade will then look at that and point to both of them. Again, after like I guess. Again, making kind of like a very quick like scrubbing his eyes thing. Like, what are those? They're both wearing the same thing.
Oh, yes, we made them together. It's a token of our friendship.
Oh, are they like favours? You are very good friends after all. You speak much in private. And you hold hands. Are the two of you entangled? I've been very curious. I haven't been able to ask.
What is your meaning by entangled?
Well, you know, together.
See, like confused and then also like a little offended.
That was more like a Johanna reaction than a full reaction to like anyone assuming I'm in a relationship.
Yeah, it's fair.
I'll redo that. Okay. Oh, I see what you mean.
Oh.
No.
Oh.
No,
at least
friends.
Yes.
Friends.
Paul kind of looks at Cevia like, wait, does she? No, I don't think no.
Yeah, Cevia also looks at Fall like, what?
I see. Just friends then.
Yes.
A bracelet to show your friends and that match.
Yes.
Yes, a friendship bracelet. It's more of a young kid or teenager thing most of the time.
I see. Interesting. Very different from exchanging lockets or something like that, I suppose. Friends, good. Good. I was just curious.
No, that's fair.
That's fair. Did you want one?
He kind of like blushes and then like looks down and then kind of like falls his arm like That's the present for the two of you, your friends.
People can have multiple friends.
I suppose so. But, you talk a lot together, and you hold hands, so, it's a different level.
Oh.
They're very nice, Brace. They're very nice little woven pieces, anyway.
Thank you. I had a long time to work on them, mine.
Yes, well, obviously a very productive time altogether for everyone, myself excluded. So, good. Excellent. New spells, friendship bracelets, staff.
And I got some scrolls that I can't use.
Ah, excellent. Well, writing parchment is always useful, I suppose.
Maybe one day I'll be able to. Yes.
Well, thank you for breaking me from another curse again. 5th time now, I believe. 6th, not sure.
Any time.
I'm happy to do so. It does not look pleasant.
It's rather not.
Yes. Good. Well, we'll train on that at some point then. Yes.
Yes. Whenever you're ready, I'll try to figure out how to teach it.
Excellent. And you can inform Beatrice and Exley that I am fine now. So that's good.
Indeed. I suppose we'll have to talk about Strahd's offer.
Yes. That's still something worth considering, one way or another. Or, if not, genuinely giving him what he wants so we can get out there. If we don't believe we can trust him, at least Arena would make very good bait to try and get to him or draw him out of somewhere.
We were already considering having her with us in the fight. I personally, laying it out there, I don't think we should give her to Strahd, but it would be worth talking to her about if she is comfortable being used as bait.
Yes, that's either way. Of course, there's not much use if we can't find a way to get rid of Strahd permanently, which would require in the castle. But it might buy some time, perhaps.
Yes.
Either way, we didn't get to do much exploring. It sort of felt more like a trap, and then he turned up and we had dinner anyway, and then it was a trap, I suppose. Well, thank you for the talk. I talked enough. I will rest for a bit. You may tell the others.
Okay.
Awesome. Yes.
Yes. Feel free to talk any time.
Absolutely.
Yes. Apologies on the incorrect assessment of the nature of the two of you as well.
Oh, that's all right.
Had assumed, since you were talking about potential relations with Beatrice and Esmeralda, I thought perhaps, you were similarly inclined towards each other, but that is incorrect. So I will change that assessment, and I will cross out some lines in my my assessment of you, both of you. Good. I am now talking too much, and I will rest. Go like flops down the bed.
Have a good rest, Conrade. And she's gonna awkwardly pat him on the knee and then head to the door.
Yes. God. Same. I guess after closing the door, Fall will turn to Cevia and be like, You don't feel for me that way, do you?
I'd never really considered it as an option.
I mean, same. It's just too much going on.
Yes, it seems like rather too much, really. to have that on top of everything else, and wouldn't that make it weird?
Yes,
It'd be weird, wouldn't it?
It does feel weird.
Yes.
Good. Well, I'm glad we're on the same page then.
Yes, it's a very confusing page, but I'm glad we're both here.
Yes, absolutely.
Yes.
Well then, I guess we'll go talk to the others now.
Yes, go talk to the others. Good.
And we'll head over.
Awkwardly walk back. Just like with an extra 10 centimeters of distance between them.
Yes.
Just like,
Were you able to break through the charm?
yes. Yes.
Good.
How is he?
Tired. Embarrassed. Tired again.
He mentioned something about Strahd having a deal for us to get us out.
He did. He mentioned an exchange.
Yes, an arena for our freedom, essentially.
Is this arena worth our freedom? Correct me if I'm wrong, but I don't think Exley has met
Exley has not.
arena. No, okay, yep.
I'm not entirely sure what that means.
I mean, personally, I'm not sure I believe in us having any kind of right to sacrifice people. Which is what it would be, fundamentally. Did you have not... Oh, you haven't. You don't even know who Arena is. Strahd is convinced that Arena is his long-lost love. And we saved her and took her to a church with some special bones from a god that keeps her safe. That is where we lost our friend from before we met you. So, while we were already considering talking to Arena about potentially her and her brother Ismark assisting us in fighting Strahd, I'm sure she'd get quite a decent amount of satisfaction out of potentially whopping him with a sword a few times. Both for the sake of her life and the sake of our friends, I am hesitant to consider Strahd's offer.
Very well. Perhaps any further conversation should be had tomorrow morning once everyone is rested and present.
Yes.
I suppose so. It's a difficult offer to think of. I mean, we don't know for certainty if any of the potential ways out will work. What can we really trust?
True, but we've gone to all the effort of trying to fulfill this prophecy. Would it not make sense to try and see it through?
I mean, you're right, but it's such a high risk of dying. To take out Strahd, he let you all in without any fear for himself, even after we defeated him in one battle. But then, yes, I think some of the philosophers and the logical people back in my monastery would probably be weighing up the odds and saying it's more rational to trade in Arena because there's less of a risk to our lives there. I don't really know what to believe. I don't really want to trade anyone in. Yes, no, I
There
suppose
is a factor
it's...
you're ignoring there.
Yes.
Is it not obvious to any of you?
Oh, do explain.
You're taking Strahd on his word.
Yes, I can't exactly take him on his word, but then I don't exactly trust anyone either, so present company accepted. But no, that is a valid point in that. Yes.
Mm. But again, we can discuss all the ins and outs and moral ambiguities after a good long sleep and some food. I rather forgot to eat for most of today, so we should do food, and then we can hear both Conrade and Beatrice's contributions to the conversation, as well as Esmeralda's
Indeed.
and everyone else's, and then we can make an informed decision and get all our allies together and follow through with that decision.
That's a good idea. And gosh, I had so much gelato today. I hope I can figure out how to get a different food.
You can ask for it, you know.
Oh, that's good. Why didn't I think of that? Okay.
Exley's going to. Oh, no, you go. Sorry.
No. I'm going to say something that takes away from there. But if you're still,
Oh, so am I.
Well, whilst all this has been going on, Beatrice wandered off to the bathroom and is having herself the biggest, loveliest bubble bath known to any creature on any plane.
Okay.
Fan service for you, Beatrice stands out there.
Soaking after a long day in the tub.
And Exley?
Exley was, after a comment that was made at the dinner, Exley's going to wander over to where all the bedrooms are, and he's going to walk up to Conrade's room and knock on the door.
Okay, interesting. Yes, I suppose that. Who is it? Anyone? You can kind of hear him like thud as he jumps up from the bed and kind of like not exactly be a teenager, but yes, kind of like stops over the door to open the door, like holding up parents like just knock on the door but they don't actually respond. You're like, what is it? And Conrad will open the door.
So as the door opens, there is a golden retriever sitting at the door.
I'm emotional. Incredible. Huh? He will then look. Does the golden retriever have a shadow?
The golden retriever does not have a shadow. It has green eyes.
Exley, 42. Like it looks like a strange combination of like grumpy and then like he kind of like blushes like looks a bit quite fond and just kind of like crouches down there. Dog. Here, boy. He kind of like wants to like get like just his friend to come there and plops down the ground and would like to give him a screech.
All right. So on that note, you all kind of wind down for the evening and then head off to take your rests. And that's where we're going to leave it for this episode.
Cool.
Ending on the blessed image.
Of
Guys.
Conrade petting the shadowless dog.
Awesome.
Yikes.
Thank you for listening.
Thank you for
Thank you for
listening, folks.
listening.
Thank you
Thanks,
all.
y'all.
Goodbye.